Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love, available now in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. And did you know that Audible is currently running a special? You get your first month for free and then the next 3 months for their holiday special, I think is like $6.95 per month. So you can actually download Twin Flame Romance for free if you are new to Audible books, which is amazing. And if you're reading this currently and would like to leave a review on Amazon, which is well appreciated, go ahead and take a screenshot once that review is up. Email it to me at michellefondinauthor@gmail.com and I will send you an Audible promo code for chakra healing for vibrant energy, exploring your 7 energy centers with yoga, mindfulness, and Ayurveda, which is a fantastic accompaniment to Twin Flame Romance. Now, of course, if you would like to book a Twin Flame reading with me, an angel reading, a general reading, go ahead and email me at michellefondinauthor@gmail.com. So today, friends, is going to be an interesting video. It may go on for a very long time. I'm not sure at this point, but get your cup of coffee, get your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So seriously though, if you don't yet have a warm beverage for you, I know it's fall and in some places that means it's very cold. So go ahead and grab your warm beverage, pause the video and come right back to it. Okay, welcome back. Today we are talking about the matrix of the twin flame journey. And we're talking about this especially for those of you who are divine masculines and divine feminines who have a tendency to panic a little bit. This came to me while I was walking on the beach yesterday morning. So most of my video ideas really are not my ideas at all. They really come to me as channeled messages, honestly, at a lot of times very inopportune times. So a lot of times these channel messages will come to me at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and I wake up generally about 5:30 a.m. Not too terribly early, but still, if I have to get up to pee and then the angels are like, hey, you know what? This is what you're gonna talk about today. And sometimes I have to like ruminate on it for 24 hours or so, like I did with the message that came through yesterday as I was walking on the beach, but it really came through as like this huge thing. And it was so huge that I couldn't quite put it into words. So I was going to do a video on it yesterday and I just said, I really need to like make this concrete for viewers to be able to understand with such a large and enormous idea that I don't quite understand as much as I would like to as well. And I don't know a lot about like quantum physics and time-space causality and just things like that. But what they presented to me, and I'm going to use a metaphor here. Now, I know some viewers out there don't like it when I use metaphors. They think they're kind of lengthy, but I warned you that in this video, I'm probably going to be lengthy. But at the end of the video, hopefully you will have some tranquility and solace about your twin flame journey. So what they explained to me in this epiphany, I guess, was that the twin flame journey is less of a journey, straight line journey for like you're going up to Mount Rushmore. I don't even know if that's a thing, and I don't know why that came to me, but or you're going on a trail somewhere. Like I walked with my kids up to near the Hollywood sign this summer, so to see like the sunset over the Hollywood signs. Like it was a little bit of a zigzag, but more or less, the path you're going on. You're just going straight up and you're gonna see the sunset at the top of this hill. Instead of it being like that, what they explained to me was that the twin flame journey is like a matrix of things happening, kind of like a web of things happening simultaneously that are moving around to get you and your twin flame together. Now, the second imagery that they gave me was that each person's twin flame journey is as unique as a snowflake or a fingerprint. So I guess I've never seen a snowflake under a microscope, but I've heard that no two snowflakes are identical. The design of a snowflake is different for each snowflake. And of course, one of the reasons why DNA testing works through fingerprints, or DNA recognition works through fingerprints, is because each person has a unique fingerprint. So there you go. But that's what was explained to me. It was explained to me that the matrix of the journey is so incredibly complicated, just like the design of each individual snowflake, or just like somebody's fingerprint, that it's impossible to have the entire picture to move forward, if that makes sense. And so the reason why this came to me was because as we are advancing on this twin flame journey, and when I say we, I'm personally talking about myself and the viewers that I like to call subscribers on my YouTube channel. So thank you very much. If you haven't yet subscribed, go right ahead. When I say us, I'm talking about like the Twin Flame Collective, and more importantly, those who are on my channel, because you guys are the people that I interact with. You guys are the people that come to my Q&A on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. You are the guys that I read for when I do the Twin Flame readings. So I can only refer to you guys, right? And the feedback that I'm getting from many viewers is that it is getting more and more complicated to follow YouTubers on the twin flame journey, because there are so many conflicting and complicated and like stuff that you have to dig through in order to find the actual truth. And this is especially confusing for those who are newer on the journey, or maybe you've been on the journey for 6 months or less, or maybe even 8 months or less. And you're kind of just learning about the trajectory of the journey and what to expect, and kind of to foresee how this journey is supposed to unfold. And it's for those people especially that you can go into a panic when you're searching on YouTube, and then you find a video, you think, okay, this is cool, I'm gonna watch this one, and you watch a second video on this similar topic, the same topic, and it contradicts completely what the first video says. And then you keep going on each topic, and it's just like that. Completely conflicting and just not any consistency whatsoever. Let me just tell you this about myself, and I know some of you are brand new to my channel, and again, thank you, and you've maybe only seen 1 or 2 videos. Some of you have been there since the beginning, and thank you. Where I must have like close to 60 or 70 twin flame videos out there, and you followed me from the beginning, so you kind of know not only where I'm coming from, but my background in my belief system, and also the fact that, here's the thing, guys. Some of you know this. I left a really nice, high-paying job that I loved. I loved my job. I left a really high-paying job that I loved to do this full-time. And I will tell you this right now. YouTube is not a full-time job in the way of salary. This is not a cushy job, you guys. It's a hard job, and the money isn't there. I mean, hello, not compared to the money that I was making, and like by any measure. For those of us who are kind of like, and I would consider myself like a medium YouTuber, okay? I don't have like 0 subscribers, and I don't have 1 million subscribers. I don't even have like 100,000 subscribers. I'm kind of like a medium, down the road, run-of-the-mill YouTuber who's kind of just doing their thing, okay? I'm not out there doing clickbait videos. I'm not out there with clickbait titles. I don't have the fancy, like beautiful graphics on the thumbnails of each of my videos. Like mostly you just have yours truly on the face of the thumbnails, and that's just like the easiest way that I can do things. I generally don't pay too much attention to the clicks and the views, and barely pay attention to the comments. I like to thumbs up people who are like being really positive. I'm all about positivity, and you can always see the glass is half empty, but at the same token, you can always see the glass is half full. I'm a glass half full person. I am not a glass half empty person. I never have been. That's just the way I'm hardwired, and I don't appreciate people who are glass half empty. So I do like to give thumbs up to those who are being positive and like looking at the brighter side of things, rather than those who are negative Nellies. I don't like that. But all in all, the reason I came to this journey was not because I wanted to. And the reason I came to this journey on YouTube, I was already a YouTuber. Not a popular YouTuber, but I was already a YouTuber. I had been posting since, gosh, I don't know, 2012, 2013, something like that, maybe 2012, 2011. I'll have to look back to my earliest video, I'm not sure. But I published things that I liked. I published things about, Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, but I'm not out here on this journey with you guys to do this, A, for the money, B, yeah, it's good to pay the bills, of course. But B, I'm not doing this to pull the wool over your eyes or do clickbait titles or really fancy imagery and pictures on the thumbnails that are going to make you think oh, this is the most fabulous reading ever or whatever. It's just I'm here to tell you guys the truth. That's it. It's my truth. It's what I experience. It's the truth that the angels and guides channel to me. And it's the truth because I am a very meditative person who prays a lot. I do a lot of meditation. I purify my body, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But it's truth based on what I am experiencing and what I channel. And that's it. It's nothing more than that. It's not to manipulate, not to control, not to get more views, not to be the best YouTuber on YouTube in YouTube land, whatever. It's not that. It's yeah, it's nice to have all those things, but that's not the reason I'm doing it. What I really want you guys to understand first and foremost is that there is a template, okay? Now the template for the twin flame journey can be found in a video such as the 14 signs to know if you've met your twin flame, which is one of my top viewing videos, okay? The other one is 7 signs to reunion. That is another video that gives you part of that template. If you open up my book, Twin Flame Romance, that is another part of the template. So there is a template, okay? Now here is where the metaphor is going to come in. The metaphor is going to come in is I want you guys just to imagine for a minute that this template is like you applying to a great four-year university, getting admitted to that four-year university with the trajectory of getting a bachelor's degree, okay? So let's just take that imagery. And this is the best way that I could possibly unpack what the angels gave me in saying that the twin flame journey is like a matrix. It's not a straight line, okay? You study really hard, you take your SATs, your ACTs, you get a good GPA in high school, you do your extracurricular activities so you're a well-rounded person, you do great on your application, you do your essays, you get the recommendations from teachers, and lo and behold, yay, you're admitted to a great four-year university. Now, I was admitted to the University of Michigan. Now, I was not admitted the first time. I actually didn't even want to go to the University of Michigan or to any school in Michigan. It's just that my parents my mother really forced me to. So I was admitted to Michigan State and I think one other college, I can't even remember, Eastern Michigan, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember now. It's been too long. And I was waitlisted for the University of Michigan. Now, I was a great student, you guys. I was a fantastic student. I was well-rounded. I had all those activities on their application, but I was a really poor standardized test taker. So while I did okay on the ACT, the SAT was I barely squeaked by. I was waitlisted and then finally I did get admitted to the University of Michigan. So when you get into your first year of uni, as some people call it, university or college, you go to an orientation, right? So everyone kind of starts at the same page on the orientation. Now here's the difference though. And this is where the matrix starts to kick in. So everybody who enters into that freshman class of a large university, and I actually looked it up, I had Siri look it up. I never asked Siri, which I hope my phone's not in here because Siri might talk, but I never asked Siri for information, and I was putting on my makeup before the video. I'm I need to ask Siri how many students are currently in the student body at the University of Michigan, because I went a billion years ago, you guys. I found out there are 46,000 students currently at the University of Michigan, which is huge. I think it was 30,000 when I was going. So 46,000, that is amazing. That's so huge. It's a huge campus. It's a really nice campus though. Too cold for my taste, but a good campus. In orientation day, let's say there are couple thousand freshmen, right? Because you got to imagine that 46,000, they're grad students too. They have a huge medical university, all that, you know. You start with about 2,000 other students. Freshman year, same time orientation. That's the beginning of your twin flame journey, okay? Now, where the matrix comes in is that some students are living on campus in dormitories. Some students are staying in what they call these residence halls that are like concentrated for your major, for your concentration. Some join fraternities and sororities. Some are living at home and they commute to school. Some are living off campus in apartment housing or off campus housing, okay? Already, that's one huge variable, okay? So same freshman class, you're the same class, same group of students, around the same age range. I'm imagining, unless if you're like a 40-year-old going back to school as a freshman with the freshman class, that's even another variable, right? Or maybe somebody took a gap year after high school and decided to do a gap year of work and then join the freshman class, right? So you've got that, but then it goes on to even more spread out experiences, right? So some people like me were liberal arts majors. Then you have the engineers, then you have the pre-med, then you have the science, then you have the arts, right? So everybody is going to pick a different major. So that diversifies the experience even more. And then you move on and move forward. Some people are only eating with the meal plan on campus every single day, 3 times a day. They've got the package where you can eat 24/7. Other people have to save their money. They're going shopping. They get a little fridge in their dorm room and they're going with ramen noodles 24/7. So that is another whole variable, okay? And so it goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, to get to that bachelor's degree, some really smart, motivated people are saying, I'm going to attend school year-round and I'm going to graduate in 2.5 years. And then you've got the other people on the 5-year plan where they're like, I'm just going to waste daddy's money a little bit more. I'm just going to, go through the 5-year plan because college is about partying. And anyways, it's really fun and nice to be at college and not to have any responsibilities and have daddy's American Express card. Believe me, there's a lot of that at the University of Michigan. So there are so many varied options, you guys, and so many varied paths and avenues and choices you can make along the way that eventually most of the students are probably going to get their bachelor's degree, especially with a high-end university like the University of Michigan. Most students that are even able to get into that university, which is an elite university, most students that are able to even get into that university and start the university, I'd say about 80% of them are actually going to get the bachelor's degree, but 20% are probably going to drop out, right? Or do other things. Or do like me. This is what I did. I started year 1, freshman year, University of Michigan, freshman. I think I changed my major 2 to 3 times. Then I took a great big detour. I went to France for 4 years, studied. You want to hear it? French, English, yes, English lit. I studied German, Spanish, law. Then roundabout way, the 5th year, for the 6th year, came back to the University of Michigan and finished my bachelor's degree. There you go. So there are so many different variables in order to even for a freshman class to go into a university, a 4-year university, even just to get their bachelor's degree. Now, in today's day and age, this didn't happen when I was a young adult. In today's day and age, you don't even have to step foot in a classroom, right? You can be a freshman at a specific university and do everything online. And maybe go to the university to get exams proctored, but you don't even have to step foot in the university. So there is no dorm, there is no meal plan, right? The twin flame journey is a lot like that, is what the guidance explained to me. And so here's the problem here, you guys. The problem is when a YouTuber or a vlogger or a blogger or anybody else is out there with the intention of mentoring other people, with the intention of clarifying something that is cloudy and murky and difficult to navigate with a whole lot of people like you, that comes with an enormous, enormous amount of responsibility. Like, I take this, doing this for you guys, I take this with like this amount of responsibility. Like, it's not even this amount of responsibility or this amount of responsibility. I take it with the utmost amount of responsibility because I have the responsibility to know that my words will influence you for the better or for the worse. I have the responsibility to take in knowing that I am not here to toy with your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your life. You realize this. So if I know something, I'm going to tell you. If I don't know something, I'm going to tell you. If I'm having a bad day, I'm going to tell you. If I've fallen short in my own life in any way, I am going to tell you. I'm going to say, look, I have fallen short. And I've revealed that in a couple of videos, right? Where I look back at Michelle's story, Raw, that's one. Another one was on a Q&A where I told you guys, like, look, I've just had a really bad week. And I think maybe during a reading too. And I just said, you know, like I wanted to abandon the journey and all this. And my week was really bad. And then I realized like, oh, you're crazy. Like you can't abandon the journey. The journey is yours. It's here to stay. And so I am going to be right up front with you guys. And I'm going to be open and honest and clear with you guys that everything that I experience is yours. And that everything that is channeled to me is yours. But I take it with great responsibility. So if I truly, and believe me, I have those, okay? I'm really optimistic. I'm a high-level person. I really like to take my energy to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. Like that's who I am. That's how I operate. That's the person I want to be all the time. But I'm human too. So I have bad days, right? And on those days where I have bad days or just down days where I might be feeling a little bit down or blue, I do not tape. I do not tape. I do not record videos. I don't do it. Because if I feel that my energy is not at the optimal energy to lift you up, if I'm going to bring my baggage to the camera, I do not do that. That's unfair to you. That's my stuff. It's stuff I need to deal with off camera. And I do not need, and I don't do that with my writing either. So if you've noticed in my books, if you've read one or more of my books, generally my books are very uplifting and positive and they're raw. I tell my story and I do my research and I really bring all of that together and I bring it in there. And that is the reason. The reason is because when you are a mentor to other people, you need to leave your baggage at home. You bring the energy of everything that you are to the camera, to the books, to the blogs, to the vlogs, and you leave your baggage at home. Now, here's the problem. The problem is this twin flame journey is an extremely emotional journey, right? It's emotional. And it's very spiritual in the sense that because it's so spiritual, there are a lot of things that are not tangible. And the human brain operates on tangibility, right? We want to wrap our minds, we want to wrap our bodies, we want to wrap our mouths and sink our teeth into something that's super duper tangible, right? We want to be able to hold it, touch it, feel it, like sense it. And that is really how the human brain is designed to accept things, right? So now you take a highly emotional topic and you take a highly spiritual topic and you take a bunch of people who aren't prepared for this, and then you're in for a huge mess. You're in for a humongous mess. Because not everybody has the experience, the life experience, and believe me, I have way more life experience than I'd like to admit. Honestly, I don't even want to go there, but I have a lot of life experience. I've been a teacher, a spiritual teacher for 11 years. Now, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm really not, you guys. This is not for me. Honestly, this is not for me. This is just to show you the reasons why some of this panic is being spread across. That's why. I'm just explaining to you the reasons why. Okay? It's nothing to do with me. I don't care. Like, if you don't resonate with me, I honestly, I would prefer for a viewer to go watch somebody else they resonate with because I don't really care. Like, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. Like, that's the way I'm in real life too. I I never vie for anybody's attention. I never say like, oh, please like me, listen to me. I'm usually like, if you knew me in public, I'm more the observer. I don't really talk that much. I'm more the observer. If I'm one-on-one with you, we'll talk. But if I am in a group of more than 2 or 3, I'm the silent one. I just listen. I don't talk ever. So I like to listen to people. So, but I'm on camera now. I have to talk. Otherwise, you know, it gets kind of boring, right? You get these highly emotionally charged topics like the twin flame journey, and you get a highly spiritual one where people are wondering if they're insane, right? Because they're not used to these intense spiritual experiences, right? So the result is you get many, many people in the public eye serving as mentors to you guys being the viewers, in a not very responsible way. Now, it's my firm belief, honestly, that they're not doing this on purpose, okay? They're not doing this on purpose. They're not doing this to hurt other people. Maybe some are, but most aren't. They're not doing this to hurt other people. They're doing it from lack of experience, lack of life experience, and lack of experience in emotional and relational topics, right? I have been, like I said, I've been a spiritual teacher for 11 years, so I've dealt with audiences of people that I'm mentoring. So I know the drill that you don't bring your garbage. And I've made that mistake, believe me, make no mistake. I have gone through some really deep, dark situations where I did bring some of that to the table and it just wasn't appropriate, nor was it the right time. So I made those mistakes early on in my journey, like really early on in my teachings. I made those mistakes, but I don't make them anymore. Also, I've raised 3 children, and I know I've learned the mistakes of, again, bringing your emotional garbage to the table when you're raising your children. You just don't do things like that. I think the major problem in what is happening, and this is why like the matrix system and what the angels revealed to me makes a lot more sense, is that what is happening is that these well-intended mentors that are out there do not have the life experience in the emotional realm or in the spiritual realm to be able to differentiate between what is real and what is a trick of their own mind and what is like the baggage of their own emotions. And so instead of kind of partitioning that and being able to like sift through and go, okay, this is probably part of the experience that's appropriate to share with the audience, they kind of just take it all and they give it to you. And the problem with them taking it all and giving it to you is that then you're adding fuel to the fire, because you're taking your own emotional experiences that are not yet resolved. And I think that's the clue, is like they have to be well resolved in order to bring them to the table, right? Because you're like beginning, middle, and end. Here we go. Happy ending, right? And that's what you present to your audience. Happy ending. This is how it goes. And it doesn't have to be like happy ending reunited with my twin, but it has to be like happy ending. Like I journaled about this, and then I had an epiphany, and then my twin flame texted me, and then I texted him back, and he didn't text me back. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, but I was okay. And that's a happy ending. I was okay with that. You know what I mean? So it's more about being able to walk through it, kind of feel it, see the end, and then be able to share your outcome with your audience in knowing. That leads me to a couple of things to help you to not panic. Actually, I think there are 3 things. So the first thing is, one thing I always say is trust your intuition. You've got to turn inward. Turn inward, okay? Turning inward does not mean more thoughts. Turning inward means looking to your heart, looking to your soul, okay? There are many, many ways you can do this. Meditation and prayer are 2 ways, okay? So if you are not meditating daily, if you're not in prayer, whatever your prayer belief system is, if you're not meditating, visualization, positive affirmations, and all of that, you're not doing that daily, then you're not doing your work, because what you want to do is pull away from the conflicting information that's out there and kind of take a journey inward to say, is this veritable? Is this true? Is this actual for me? And the matrix of what my journey is. Okay? So that's one. And we're going to talk about like what you need to do. So it's like things like detoxing from substances. And I produced a whole video on that. Like, you're going to need to get healthy. And the reason why you need to get healthy, it's not Michelle being like, oh, I'm the health coach, yay. It's not that. It's from life experience in being a spiritual guide, is that you cannot hear the voice of your intuition if you are ingesting toxic substances, including tobacco, vaping, cigarettes, marijuana, any of that stuff, drinking, drugging, any of that. Okay? High levels of sugar, processed foods, like all of that. It blocks you from being able to hear your inner voice. Why? Because it's clogging everything in your body. Okay? If it's clogging your lungs, clogging your arteries, hurting your liver, it's blocking all the channels. How are you receiving information from your body? Through the channels in your body. That's how you're receiving information. If those channels are blocked, you're not receiving the information. Okay? So purifying your body, pure water, pure substances, organic food, get away from the chemicals, okay? So yes, I preach and teach that, but there's a reason for it, okay? There's a reason for it. You need to be a clear channel, okay? So the second thing is that start to understand the matrix of your journey, okay? And you do this partly by journaling. Journaling is super important. And I say this in my book, Twin Flame Romance, and I say it in lots of videos. Journaling is really, really important because when you journal your twin flame experience, when you are feeling crazy and insane, when you're feeling like this can't be real, when you're feeling like, I feel like I'm just working on my imagination and not anything else, go back to your journal and you will see the conversations you had with your twin, the coincidences, the synchronicities, the dreams, the signs that showed up for you, the out of the blue run-ins with your twin, like all of those things are going to be journaled and you're going to be able to see them point blank for what is real. Okay, so that's the other thing. Now, the third thing is be really careful. Please be wary of this, you guys. Because, and this is what the angels are telling me, because of this matrix, the template is similar. So the template, remember, being that in order to go to college, you need to apply, of course, get good grades, good SAT, ACT scores. You need to have a good GPA, be a well-rounded individual. You get into the college to get a bachelor's degree. The template's going to be similar, like you need 120 credits and humanities and history and math and science, perhaps, right? You need a lot of different classes and maybe like 30 or 40 credits in your major. You need to maybe do a practical application, such as like a thesis or something like that to finish your bachelor's degree. So there's a lot of requirements that you have to do. It's a template that you have to walk through and go through in order to get your bachelor's degree. But the way you get there is going to be really different. The experiences you need to go through are really different than anybody else's experiences. So you only know your experiences. You cannot possibly know the experiences of anybody else, nor can you cheat the system or short circuit the system, okay? If there was a really fast way to get your bachelor's degree in 6 months, I'm sure someone would have figured it out by now, and I'm sure geniuses have, but most of us out there are not walking geniuses, right? The other thing you need to remember is that your twin flame, while you guys have agreed in this soul contract together, like you guys have this soul contract, yay, you have it together, you're on this journey together, right? They have their own matrix that's fitting into your matrix of the twin flame journey, right? They have their own matrix. Two freshmen start college together, right? They both, let's say they're both on the track to graduate together the same semester. They're on that trajectory. They're on the road, they're doing it and everything. But let's say one is majoring in biology and the other one is majoring in acting, which was my first kind of major. And the classes are going to look really different for a bio major and an acting major, right? They're probably both going to end up getting the bachelor's degree at the same time, but the things they have to go through are going to be totally different. The professors they have are going to be different. The lessons they have to learn are going to be different. The practical aspects of what they need to learn in their major are going to be vastly different. Okay? And it's no different for you and your twin flame. Now, I say this because there are some YouTubers and twin flame speakers out there that not only say there's a twin flame template for this twin flame journey, but there's a twin flame template for a quick reunion. Kind of like, well, if you like turn this piece and turn this piece and turn this one and this one and this one, you're gonna be together. It's gonna be this great reunion. And if you're not in reunion, it's because you haven't turned the right pieces, the way we say that you have to turn the right pieces, right? And unfortunately, it just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. So there is a template. There's stuff you need to do. There's stuff you need not to do. There's plenty of lessons you need to learn. There's some classes you need to take. And there is a lot of spiritual self-growth, emotional growth that needs to happen. That being said, there is no fixed template for reunion. And that is part of the matrix. That's part of the twin flame matrix that the angels were referring to. And the reason for that is because of this complex matrix system. Think of like the uniqueness of two snowflakes, right? The patterns and uniqueness, if you were to look at them under a microscope, of two beautifully formed snowflakes and the beauty that's inside of them, right? And all the like intricate designs that goes with those snowflakes. That the intelligence that put those snowflakes together had a lot more complex plan than just a cookie cutter snowflake, if you will. And you too are extremely complex. Your lives are complex. You and your twin flames' pasts are complex. The lessons you need to learn to move forward are extremely complex. So there's no cookie cutter outcome. There's signs and symbols, right? So there are signs that, yeah, I'm getting closer, hotter or colder, right? And those signs they're important for us to know. They're important for us to know, are we getting hotter or are we getting colder? That's pretty much it, right? But it's not a one size fits all. It really isn't. And that's one thing that I've learned in doing like hundreds of readings since, I don't know when I started doing readings for twin flames. I've been doing readings a lot longer, but twin flame readings probably since May or June, around there, June-ish. So starting to do twin flame readings, I saw things in a whole other light because you hear so many people's stories and you hear the complexity of those stories and you hear that it's not cookie cutter. Like it's not a one size fits all. The journeys look similar. I'll tell you that right now. The template, the journeys look absolutely similar, but the trajectories are vastly different and the complexities are really different. So there is no one size fits all answer. And that's one of the reasons that I say readings are a great way to just find out the complexities of your situation. And not that I know them all. I don't. I mean, like, there may be 20 complexities and in a reading we see one or two, right? But it's at least something. It's something more than perhaps you knew coming into that reading. But it's also one of the reasons is why I don't want you guys listening. If for your own sanity, we're talking about stopping the panic, right? For your own sanity, it would be good to stop listening to like so many varied voices and to start turning inward to your own intuitive voice and just know that. Tune in with your angels and guides. Tune in with your intuition to know if you are on the right life path toward you reunion with your twin. Only you know that. Only you know, is this going in the direction it needs to go in? Only you know, is this connection real? Okay? So stop listening to the stupid garbage that's out there. And I'm going to post another video about garbage because we're really going to talk about something more and greater that you can do to help yourself along. But try to keep it real. Like, try to keep it real. And I know a lot of times it's hard for you to keep it real when you have so many doubts, when your mind starts playing games with you and tricks on you and says, like, you're imagining things. This can't be real. And believe me, it still happens to me from time to time. I think I woke up this morning for about a second, maybe half of a second. And my mind just said, oh, this is not real. And then I woke up. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. Like, of course it's real. You know, it's like, so even my mind will play those tricks on me where I'll have those like split second of doubts. It doesn't happen very often anymore. I get frustrated sometimes. Of course, I'm human, right? I get frustrated sometimes, but the doubt, it really does not rule me. It doesn't. I know it's real. I know it's real. I hope this helped a little bit to just stop the panic, because the panic also is in the collective consciousness, okay? Another thing that I would say, that if you have a strong spiritual belief in God, in Jesus and the Holy Spirit, whatever, like if you have those beliefs, or if you're Jewish or Muslim or whatever, like whatever your scriptures are, stop for a moment and get your hand on your scriptures and just start reading them. Like, just go deep into your scriptures and just be like, God makes promises. God is a great God who makes promises, and God does not drop on his promises. God fulfills every single one of his promises. And that's what's real. That is what's real. Okay, none of these voices out there, this or that, or conflicting points of view, or you're supposed to be with your twin flame, you're not supposed to be with your twin flame, like it just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that you just have to stay away completely if you ever want to be with your twin flame again, or never text or call them, ever, never, never in the whole life. You know what I mean? It's just like, every situation is so incredibly different. It's just so incredibly different. Believe me, like I've seen so much and heard so much for the past few months doing readings, and there's no cookie cutter solution. There's just not. It's like, do your own work, stay in faith, pray, meditate, cleanse your body, do healings for your body, for your twin's body, for your twin soul, your emotions, your twin's emotions. Do whatever it takes to do the healing piece, and then let go and let God, but just try not to get wrapped up in all that crazy online panic, because it's not worth it. Honestly, it's not. You will give away your own sanity for what? For what? For people who are not emotionally healed, for people who are in a panic themselves, and then they produce a video to put out that panic into the collectivity, or inversely do completely the opposite, where they put out like clickbait videos and titles that are like, oh, everything's happening tomorrow. Like, everything is happening tomorrow, when I don't know when. I can tell you, like, okay, the energy's moving this way, or the energy's moving this way, or the energy's moving, you know, I can see where the energy's moving. I can't tell you when exactly. Even if you get a personalized reading with me, which I would recommend, I will not tell you when. I don't know when. God knows when. I don't know when. I have no idea. I don't know those things. So I hope this helps you. Stay away from panic. Honestly, just, meditate. Honestly, meditation's the best remedy. Meditate, read your scriptures, read some spiritual literature, read some uplifting prose, poetry, inspirational videos, inspirational literature to just uplift your spirit, uplift your soul, and stick with that, and stay positive, stay in faith, okay? All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Share this video with other twin flames. Thank you so much for supporting this YouTube channel by buying a book or 2 or 3 and pledging your support on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin, and I will see you in the next video.